I just realized it's not nighttime.
Yo!
Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Hunter, and I finally have another F1 2020 League race video. Yes, I'm finally back. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing more than one video a week for you guys, but I'm always super busy during the weekends, and Monday is never really an easy day for me to edit either. So I'm gonna try and make it work, but for now it'll be one video a week, hopefully working that to 2 videos a week. But I also want to let you guys know that in the description you guys will see a sign up sheet for a league that I'm starting. It is a PS4 and PS5 league, so it'll be starting, I believe, in less than a month, at the end of January. Some of the finer details are still being worked out, but I will put the link to the Discord, and I will also put the link to the sign up sheet in the description. So check that out. It's called ROR, Realm of Racing, and that is going to be the league that I will be participating in along with UNF1 next season. I will probably not be participating in CRL just because CRL is 2 times a week, and I don't think I'll be able to make 2 times a week. But anyway, getting back into the video, you guys do see that we have a wet quali in Singapore, and historically I've not done well with wet qualies, as I hit the wall twice. I give the wall a nice little double tap. I can't tell you if I have damage. Honestly, I couldn't remember if I got damage from that. Nothing popped up, so surely it couldn't have been anything worse than a lime green. But nonetheless, maybe it did affect me a little bit. I didn't see anything fly off though. But we get P4 for the time being, and we are gonna end up dropping down to, I believe it's P7. Yeah, P7. Not terrible, not great, but as you see, we're gonna probably end up doing a 2-stop, similar to Canada. This is one of those tracks where hards do not feel great. I would just say don't touch the hards. Like literally the exact same situation on Canada, where it feels like the drop off from the mediums to the hards isn't necessarily all that different. It's still quite a bit different, but it's not a huge difference, and the hards just feel awful. They feel like you're sliding, and on a technical track like this, you need all the grip that you can get. So yeah, don't touch the hards. This isn't one of those tracks that you want to be on hard tires. But getting into the start of this race, we are right behind Groovy and Leo, who are both 1 and 2 in the Drivers' Championship. So we're going to try and get the best start possible, and we do actually get the jump on Groovy, but he doesn't see me coming around the outside. He taps us wide, and we're going to rejoin the track. Luckily, not getting a warning for that, but the Ferrari is straight to our left, down our throat. But we're going to try to go down the inside of Groovy, and again, we make side pod contact. Luckily, that does not send us flying. Usually in F1 2020, if you touch a side pod, y'all know what happens. Y'all know what happens. You're gonna go flying. But still, we still have some work to do as we almost go into the back of Ladies, and Underrated is trying to fight us on the right hand side. We try to squeeze him a little bit off the track, but he still stays there. I don't know how he was able to hold that. Honestly, salute to him. He has some balls, but finally he does yield the position as we are the front car going into this turn. But going into lap 5, we still are behind Ladies, and this is an interesting moment, so I'll just let you guys peep this. He originally was gonna go into the pits, but it looks like he changed his mind. And if you guys were paying attention to the leaderboard in the top left, you would have saw that Milky was in the pits. So the reason that he kind of jumped into the pit lane and then jumped back out was because his teammate was in the pit lane and he did not want to double stack. So we get an easy position back on ladies. So while he passed us at the start, we were able to get this position back. And going into the pits, that's actually going to be a very big deal. As you know, overtaking is not necessarily easy on this track. So track positioning is everything. So going into our first stop, it's clean as can be. We get through, we don't get held, put on the first set of mediums, and yeah, we're off. At this point, I was actually very confident. I usually my second stint is always my best stint of the race. Towards the end of the race, I tend to get a little bit reckless sometimes, and or I'm like flat out pushing to make a gap or whatever the case may be. So the middle stint is usually always my best stint. It's usually when I'm the most comfortable, and yeah, you don't want to see me on the fast side of mediums, especially on a track like this. And somehow we avoid damage right there. If you look back, we had both wheels somehow get air right there. They literally were both off the ground. I felt the lightness in my wheel. I've never done that. I didn't do that in time trial. Didn't do it in my practice. So doing that was pretty scary. I think if my voice was on, you guys would have definitely heard that reaction. But going into lap 17, obviously Azure was our pole sitter, so we did end up holding him up for about 2 laps. I didn't want to show you guys that, it wasn't pretty, but we did hold Azure up for about a lap or two. From probably about the middle of lap 15 was when he caught us. So I knew that that was the best thing that we could have done. We weren't necessarily holding him up to the point of like we're both losing a ton of time, because obviously I was still able to catch Groovy, but I was mainly doing it so Azure could get a little bit uneasy, maybe get into his head a little bit, maybe make him make some mistakes. And later on in the race, you'll see that does actually become the case. So getting on into it, still following Azure, I believe Milky does end up going into the pits this lap. So our only goal really now is to try to either stay in the DRS of Azure or just really just start cruising, because I believe we might end up hitting kind of a no man's land, since Ladies behind us, as you see, not only has penalties but also has a substantial amount of time behind us to make up. So going into the second pit stop, as you see, we were able to stretch the mediums a little bit longer. We went to lap 19, so we'll only have to do 11 laps on this second set of mediums, and that to me is a job well done. I believe we pitted either lap 6 or 7, so we did about 14 laps on those mediums, and yeah, we didn't lose much time. I think my last laps were still pretty decent. So coming out of the pits, we're gonna come out behind Total Carney, but they're all gonna be on the hard compound tires. So obviously they've been on these hards probably for about 13 laps now. Well, probably not 13, but maybe about 10 laps now. If they stretch those softs to about 10 or 13, I think you have to. I think that's about how many laps you have to do on that soft tire in order to make the one stop work. But they've been on these hard tires for a little while now, and knowing that, we're not going to get too aggressive, but we are going to try to get on the back of these guys as soon as possible. If we can get on the back of them, force a mistake, anything along those lines to get a free position, we will definitely do that. But coming at the end of this lap, I think it was the end of this lap, it might be a little bit later on, you guys will see that we do actually have a little bit of an incident. But coming out of this turn, we are close. We do have the DRS, but we're not going to be close enough to make a move on Total Carney, who is actually right below me. He's in 6th place in the drivers, so definitely want to get past him. As you see, he has no penalties. Neither do we. We don't get a penalty this entire race, and you guys will really see the power of not getting a penalty during a race like this, where it's a very technical track and it's easy to pick up an easy penalty. But on lap 20, we end up having a safety car, and as you see in front of me, Total Carney actually ends up passing Nat in the pits. I'm not sure if the stewards ended up ruling in favor of Nat or in favor of Total Carney. I cannot really remember, but that was a little bit dangerous. But according to the game, it is legal to pass under VSC going into the pits, as you don't have to respect the delta. So yeah, that was a day for the stewards to handle. Anyway, moving on to lap 25. There's 6 laps left. We still have no penalties, and we have to get past Gelfie, who also has no penalties. So it wasn't a difficult overtake. Obviously threw on a little bit of overtake, and we also had a decent amount of DRS to work with because of the straight. But yeah, that's a move well done, I would say. But going forward into the race, we're gonna skip forward a decent amount. Not much happens. This is when we really do go into kind of that no man's land. Azure, as you see, joins us in P6, and I'm not too sure what had happened to him, but at some point I can't confirm that he got damage and had to go and pit again. So the pole sitter is not on track for a P1, and he is not going to catch me, unfortunately, on his soft tires, as they were beginning to go off from his previous pit stop. But in the last lap, you guys can look at the leaderboard in the top left. We are 3.1 seconds behind Milky, and just under, once this thing moves, just under 4 seconds behind Groovy. So we are on track for a podium right now on one of our favorite tracks, and that was really our goal. The entire race was just to keep our nose clean, not get damage, not get penalties. And yeah, you guys will see coming to the end of the lap just how powerful it is to not get any penalties. And we end up finishing P3 somehow after starting in P7, after having a pretty atrocious qualifying session, after all of the incidents, after the VSC, we end up getting P3 in this race. We're able to easily stay within the penalty gap that we needed to ahead. And also, I do want to mention, J-Mick did not show for this race. I think he actually broke his wheel like right before this race. So I had a sub with me, and it was a opponent of mine in UNF1. So a lad named Troy actually brought home P2 for us in this race. So as a team, as Red Bull as a team, we brought home P2 and P3. That is the most points that we have brought home all season. So obviously in the constructors, that is a huge deal for us. We finished P2, P3, starting from P7 on the grid. So obviously very happy about that race. It couldn't have gone much better. I will try to put up the leaderboards, but I'm not sure if I have an active screenshot. But if you guys made it this far, obviously I really do appreciate it. I'm still trying to improve with this whole commentary thing. This is probably the first time that I've actually gone one take. My other videos have tended to be a couple of takes. So let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be back. I'm actually going to be streaming tonight. We have CRL round like 19 or something. I don't even know at this point. But it's Japan, so tap in. Have a great day, y'all.